All right, guys. Welcome back. EYL, we on the road again.
We out the green room.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We in the great, well, it's not even a state, territory of Washington, D.C.
The nation's capital.
District of Columbia, for sure. We literally just finished an event that we had, our first of our weekend events. It was crazy, man.
We had to sneak out of there.
Nah, it was like the Beatles, man. It's like the Beatles and Michael Jordan. It's a whole vibe, man. So shout out to everybody from DMV and the whole country that came to the event.
And
really.
Capital Events a group, man. Shout out to our boy.
It was shout out to Sharani, man. Yeah. Shout out to Sharani. And so breaking news. We are going to do this again in Atlanta. ATL edition. We're gonna have a live podcast. We're gonna have a workshop. We can't play around with Atlanta. So Atlanta gonna be serious. That's gonna be January 25th and January 26th. So we're gonna be releasing information on that very, very soon. Yeah. But
you saw our Atlanta guests, right? So you know how we do when we come to Atlanta. It's gonna be a whole ordeal, man.
Nah, it's gonna be a vibe. So, all right. This is an episode that we've been looking to do for a long time, and it just kind of fell in our lap because we're blessed where people reach out to us now to interview them and things of that nature. But we wanted to do an interview on the barbershop industry, right? Mm-hmm. But we didn't want to just do it with anybody. We wanted to do it with somebody that has a successful model, somebody that has scaled their business, and somebody that can really teach the game, right?
Real master.
Yeah, because Earn Your Leash is all about just dropping gems and providing information. So yes, one of our loyal earners DM'd us and said, can you get him on the podcast? The gentleman's name is Wade Mendes. And once I looked at his page, I'm like, yeah. And I DM'd him, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. So I'll get a background. So Wade is interesting because he started off as a barber by trade, right? And that's not any different from any other barber. Like that's one thing in our community is there's a lot of people that cut hair, right?
I think just cutting hair was an accessory, right? It's a long line of barbers in the family.
Yeah. So he started off cutting hair, but the thing I like about him is that he's expanded his business. So he's grown his business, and now he has multiple locations. We'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. But what really put him on the map and changed the game is that, so I'm going to call it what the streets call it, and then Troy going to call it what the technical term is. Gotcha. So if you're not familiar, the hottest thing in the streets right now is the man unit. And the man unit is...
Man weave, man. Call it on the streets call it.
Man weave. That's what the streets call it. No disrespect to the barber community. Yeah, it's a man weave. So it's
hey, hold on one second. I don't want y'all zooming in right now on my head. Please.
Yeah, right. So if you know that, it's a common misconception that I'm bald. I'm not bald. I'm light-skinned and I have a short haircut. I have a Caesar. I still grow hair.
It's the emoji, bro.
I'm about to grow my hair back.
But
yeah. But Troy is bald.
Why you gotta always announce it, man? I think they can see that.
Nah, it is what it is.
I'm bald. I have recession.
Yeah.
Technical term.
Deep recession. So what happened?
Type of recession.
So what happened for years, and especially black men, just rock the bald head. But recently, a lot of men have been getting a second chance of life, and you can have a hairpiece. Yeah. And it's actually looks pretty dope. Like I've seen it, and you can style it, you can cut it, you can put parts in
Wash it.
It's a whole vibe. Yeah. And Wade was one of the first that really blew it up on social media, and he became extremely successful. He's been a Black Enterprise, been a bunch of different publications,
Vice,
Essence,
Rachel Roy.
HBO, BT, NPR. They wrote about him. He made over $500,000 last year.
Fresh off a Good Day New York.
Yeah, he runs a whole $1 million operation. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to get in depth. And
we got to correct the name, though.
Oh, yeah, you talk about
All right, please. It is a man weave on the streets, but it's also known as a hair unit or a cranial prosthesis.
Prosthesis.
Did I say it right?
Prosthesis.
I was close.
Yeah,
a cranial prosthesis.
Yeah.
All right. So first and foremost, thank you.
Formerly known as a toupee, I think.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, my pleasure. My pleasure for being here. Thank y'all for having me.
For sure. So can we talk about your journey? Because like I said, the barber conversation is interesting because how I look at it in our communities is that there's like 3 businesses that Black entrepreneurs want to start. Mm-hmm. Barbershop, hair salon, right? Clothing store, some sort of fashion, and a restaurant.
Yep.
Those are like the three like go-to businesses, right? Yeah. And I always say that the only problem with the barbershop and the restaurants and the clothing store is that they all can be scalable, but 95% of the time they're not scalable. They stay just local mom and pop, and it's hard to really make a lot of money when you don't have a scalable model.
Right.
But you do have a scalable model. So first and foremost, how did you get started in the barbershop industry, the barber industry? And when did that turn? Like, when did you start to look at it and to say, okay, I can actually make this into a multi or $1 million plus operation?
Well, I mean, barbering is running a family. My great-grandfather had a barbershop. My grandfather could cut. My dad could cut. My uncle could cut. And it went to me. I started cutting my hair when I was 12. So it was a situation where I tried different things, kind of got in the industry because it was my passion, but I didn't know you could make bread with this. I didn't know you can make money with barbering like that because I never seen an example of somebody really taking it seriously and really making money and trying to make some things happen. So it wasn't like something that I got into for the money. I got into it for the passion and for the impact that it has on people, you know what I mean? And I think that, once you, when you focus on those things, money will come. But I think every year I just progressed. I just got better and gained more because I was pushing myself more every year. I got a fear of being complacent. I never just want to be complacent. So every year I was pushing myself to do more and think more so from behind the chair, just not at the local barbershop, but I started cutting different celebrities, traveling. I met Lil Mo in barber school, and from there, traveling, meeting different celebrities, cutting for BET Awards, different award shows with BET, TV1, different stuff like that or whatever. And I just didn't necessarily want to be a normal barber at a barbershop, So I was like, all right, how can I take this to the next level? And then started getting to the hair units. A little quick story. There was a young lady I was dating, whatever, and we actually, all right. So let me go back. So my boy, him and his wife got a shop in Chicago. She a hairstylist, he a barber. He was like, bro, I'm making so much bread doing weaves. He was like, man, my wife taught me how to do weaves. So
For women?
For women.
Okay.
Because you can only charge with so much as a barber on each head. But for dudes, it's like, nah, bro, I'm not paying that. So I'm like, and you cap out as far as how much you can make, And so he was like, man, he was like, yo, you need to get into this because I'm making like $400 a head now. So I told my girl at the time, she was like, oh, no, I'm not. You ain't doing that. You're not doing that.
What would the stigma be if you do women's weaves?
Yeah. So there was that. And then she was like, I don't trust them girls. They going to be all, trying to hit on you and all that stuff like that.
Hair too.
Yeah. So I was like, I felt bad. I was like, all right, I ain't going to do it. But at the end of the day, I just kind of prayed. I was like, all right, God, like I'm man of faith. So I was like, all right, how am I gonna make more money without killing myself? And so,
did you own your shop at this point in time?
Yeah. At this time, I had one shop.
Okay,
I didn't have the second location yet. And so I ain't gonna lie. So the shop thing, unless you're doing commission as a barber, you're really not making a whole lot of money off no barbershops. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest about that.
So how do we go? Because I know like you've studied here, like you went to the Avra Academy for hair design, right? This is out of high school, right?
Yep. Well, I went to college for a year and a half, and then I went to barber school.
Okay, and so what was the process of getting your first shop? That was the W Loft?
Yeah, the W Hair Loft. So, yep.
What's the process of even getting that?
All right, so I actually had an event earlier today. I was sharing my story. So I did a salon suite for 2 years. I outgrew that because it's like one little small room that you in by yourself. Mm-hmm. So I had some clients who was like, man, you need to get your own shop because this room is cramping. We crammed up in here. You know what I'm saying?
One at a time. Ain't no waiting room.
Nah, ain't no waiting room. You're in the hallway with the waiting room. So I went to the bank, got denied. They was like, nah, we can't give you any money to open no spot or whatever. So I just started stacking my money. and just saving.
Is that typical? Like if I wanted to open a barbershop, banks are like, nah, we're not trying to give you loans.
Most times, unless you have something to show for it. At the time, I didn't own a house, or I didn't really have
assets,
much.
really.
Yeah, I had no assets.
Okay.
So, I started saving money, but then it was like almost like I had two angels that came like, hey man, what's it gonna take for you to get a shop? They gave me $20,000. And from that point,
Like angel investors.
like they literally, I felt like God sent them as angels.
Both.
Bro. Like, bro, they was literally some angels, bro. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you this. So they was like, hey, we gonna get you this money. You gonna cut our hair for free, and you gonna pay us back monthly. I gave them 4 monthly installments, man, and they would not cash the check. To this day, and that's 8 years ago, they have not cashed the check. And it's almost like they vanished because I don't even talk to them no more. They ain't like they gone.
Was one of the name Michael?
Facts. That is unheard of. But I say that to say, when you following your passion and you doing what your fulfilling your purpose, there's always going to be provision that's made for you. You know what I'm saying? And like whether it's like you getting out there and going after it or things coming to you. You can't be lazy though. You gotta go after what you want. But at the end of the day, I try to build a brand that's respectable. People just respect what I was doing, and it was like, man, they wanted to see me go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that was the first thing to get that shot.
Yeah.
But the hair unit stuff, man, that was an answer to a prayer. There was a young lady at the shop. After a while, I got the shop or whatever. I had people in there, had a whole team and everything. And she came in there and was like pulling our hair out the bag, like afro hair, and was adding it to she was a loctician, so she was adding it to people's locks. And I was like, man, I didn't even know they sold that type of hair. So from there, it was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, all right, we got to do this for guys that's losing their hair, And I didn't know it at the time, but it just started becoming the thing. And then it's like now I'm able to make a lot of money off of one person, as opposed to that. Me cutting cutting all day, and I only made $600-700, but I can make that off of one person now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That you said something that was interesting. If we could just go back to the barbershop conversation. So you said that unless you have a commission, you can't really make money in a barbershop, right?
Nah.
So there's two different types of business models of barbershops, right? Rent and commission.
And
is
commission,
that?
yeah.
Can you explain? Well, the rent obviously is like you have 5 barbers and they're paying you chair rent.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
paying you like
right.
$500 a
Chair.
month or something like that.
Yeah.
What's the commission model? You're getting a piece
Commission
of.
is you getting a piece of every person that walked through that door.
So every time I get
so
a cut, you get a piece. You actually get a cut.
I get a percentage of that. Yes. So as a business owner for a barbershop, and a lot of people gonna be, I want my own shop. Now it's cool to have a shop just for the look. That's what you just want. You don't want to make no money. Like you just want it to pay for itself. All right, that's what you want. All right, cool. But if you're really trying to profit as a business owner, you have to either have a big shop that has a lot of chairs in there. A lot of people are paying booth rent, or you got to have a commission-based model. Now, for my first 2, I did not do that. I did, booth rent. And so they paid for themselves. I told my boys all the time, I said, I feel like I got 2 community centers. But, yeah. I was like, but at the same time, I'm being able to help others. And I feel like that's why I'm getting blessed now, because I've imparted, I helped other people get money. I mean, I just mad barbers that came to my shop. I trained them. Now they got their own spots and stuff like that. So it's cool. But I said my next time, I got to make, thinking more business minded. So in these last maybe I would say 2 to 3 years, man, I've really been trying to build systems and put systems in place that make money for me in my sleep. So that's why I got the book. That's why I got the online classes. That's why I have the network. I have a referral network where I send out barbers. I send out people that have taken my class. I send out clients to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I take a percentage of that. And just building systems and building things. I just always been trying to just
multiple streams of income.
Multiple streams, man.
You said something very interesting, right? So in the W hair loft, right at the time, you had a client, a celebrity client that kind of changed the way for you, because what you're saying now, it sounds like obviously you've branded yourself. Yeah. But you said Little Mo played a big part in you realizing that, man. Shout out to Little Mo. So how did that happen?
So it's funny. Shout out to my boy Elliot, man. I did a cut on him, and she saw it, and she was like, "Oh, who cut your hair?" And I was still in barber school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
She was coming to barber school, and it was crazy. Everybody's like, "Yo, Lil Mo at the barber school."
Is this like Put It On Me time, or is this a little bit after?
No, it was after Let's Get Married. What's the
Ooh,
job? Yeah.
the joint with Fab?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a,
Yeah. So that was still pretty much a hit for her, you know, at
Yeah.
the time. And so I'm low-key starstruck at, because I ain't never cut no celebrity at that point. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm shaking. I'm like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Because she was getting like a little taper in the back of her neck, and I think she wanted to design. So I started cutting her singers, background dancers, and all that stuff or whatever. And then we should start traveling. She started introducing me. I met Baby, Lil Wayne, Diddy, like mad people. I started cutting Juan Dixon through her, and then from there it just started growing.
Maryland legend.
Yeah, nah,
Maryland
man.
legend.
And so yeah, then I got connected with somebody at BET, and I started doing like a lot of the BET events and BET awards and stuff like that from there.
So all right, so the barbershop, right? You were saying that. So for the units, is anywhere from like 200 to 800.
Yeah,
But a
or
hair
more. It could be a little more than that, depending.
On House of Air?
Well, it depends.
Yo, why you gotta look at me?
All right, no, bro. Listen, I don't use you for example, bro.
All right, fine, go
So
ahead.
if you was like, yo, I could grow. Now you still grow hair. You cut it bald because you just want a bald head.
My brother told me something important.
Right.
He said, dictate the look. Don't let the look dictate
That's
you.
it, bro. That's
he cut it bald because he had no choice.
Now,
No, he could have rocked it.
this
you
is
know
a
what I'm
hair
saying?
professional,
No,
a specialist. Rashad, you're not going to do this to me
Hey,
today.
no, but if say for instance you, because there's some people that have alopecia, they can't grow no hair. They got
That's a fact.
scarring alopecia, different types of things. And so if you're getting a custom unit, that's gonna be around about 9 or so. So that's mean you can't grow nothing. I
That's
gotta
the
order
whole
you a
joint.
whole piece. Yeah. So yeah, then if you want dreads, it get up there. But
So, but for a haircut, it was like, well, the average barber in New York, $25, right? That's average. That's average.
Kids cut is 25.
So I always wondered, like, you standing up all day too.
yeah,
Battling
I got
your
back
back.
problems
Yeah, no,
now
it's battling your
because of
back. People don't even realize that. So you standing up all day and you work on Saturdays. You work on Friday nights.
Yeah.
You don't really have a good schedule as a barber, and you work nights a lot of times, and you're not really making that much money. If you think about like, even if you have 15, that's a lot because that's like you know that's like 15 hours times 25. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
And you got to do that every day. Everybody's not getting a cut every single day.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So now you transition to the units.
All right, I want to say something real quick.
All right.
So before I was even doing units, so I was cutting. I was doing haircuts pretty much for about $35 a head, right? And I tell barbers all the time, you have to promote yourself and brand yourself. I was already making 6 figures before I even started doing any units.
How?
Because I was cutting all day. I wasn't lazy. Literally, I'll be in there from 8 o'clock to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
See, I heard this model the other day. Shout out to MG. He was saying that there's a special rate if you get it after 8 o'clock. You doing
Some
something
people-
like that?
I would do some. I would do that sometimes.
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
the $25 cut, if you got to come like on a 9:30 at night, like that's gonna cost you $50 now.
Yeah, but I also was heavy before this too. I note this. I was also doing the Beijing. Beijing.
Oh, the Beijing was huge.
It was really
In
heavy,
Atlanta.
too. Yeah.
In Atlanta,
It was yeah, but I'm saying it was huge out here too. A lot of people was getting that.
That's when
and so
the darker.
when you die, when you
Remember
color.
Carlos
yeah.
Boozer did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Embarrassing.
And I had mad clients that would tip because I only do appointments. I wasn't doing walk-ins. So they would give me $20 tips and stuff like that. I mean, so at the end of the day, you know, you add that up, you know. And so, yeah. And selling products because you got to think about, you know, a lot of barbers don't sell their clients the product. They trust you. I come to you every week. I trust what you're going to tell me to buy for my head. Like, so if you got dry scalp or shampoo, moisturizer, pomades, different stuff like that, do-rags, brushes, people going to buy from you because you're their barber.
I feel like
and it's convenient.
Every barber I think that I've encountered has only looked at it as being a barber. Like they're not hair specialists.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It's like a lot of them aren't
business
businessmen.
Yeah. That's
like
true.
like what you
Business
said
mindset,
just makes so much sense. But it's not times people don't think about it. It's like if you're gonna come to me every single week to get your hair cut, why are you gonna go to CVS to get shampoo? Mm-hmm. You might as well get your shampoo and your conditioner and your hair grease from me. I buy a wholesale and I can make a profit off of that. That's another income stream.
Right, you've scaled
Exactly.
So you was already making 6 figures as a barber.
Yeah, before the unit.
But then you just realized it was just too much manual labor for the amount of money you was making.
I actually got to the point, man, well, I was losing time with my family. Like, I went through a divorce and all that stuff. And part of that helped break us up was because I was always working. You know what I'm saying? My mother to this day has we working on it, but she was very upset with me because I spent so much time working. I wasn't there for her when she went through cancer like she wanted me to. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so like I spent a lot of time grinding, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I can't spend all day at the shop, especially when you're gonna have a family, you know, kids and all that stuff or whatever. So yeah, the whole making more off of each person is the key.
All right, so now we're gonna go into the next segment. We're gonna talk about how you blew up and your transition to where you are now, for sure. All right, so now we're gonna go into all right. So you found out about the units, right? How'd you find out about it?
Well, from the young lady, but
Was that Brittany? Was that name?
Yeah.
Oh,
Brittany.
yeah.
Brittany. Yeah, shout out to Brittany, man. She actually just
Game changer.
She just went and got her barber's license. She out here cutting out too, from what I understand.
Nice.
Hey, so no, but so what happened was, you know, she gave me some advice on some stuff, but then I had to go and take a little class with a dude in Atlanta named Nell Styles. So everybody couldn't get the sew-in thing. So I went and did the quick weave version with him. And then I went to another lady named Tony Love and learned her technique and different things like that. So it was like, but then I had to get back home and do a lot of trial and error, like, you know. So at the end of the day, like, I educated myself in different arenas for different things. And then I kind of created my own out of that, you know. And so that's how I kind of got introduced to that whole world.
Okay.
You know?
So, all right. But what really blew you up is that you're also a good marketer as well, right? So at what point, because you had like 140,000 followers on Instagram?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah. So, all right. So you start to implement it in your business. Can you talk about that, like the beginning stages? Like, what was your marketing plan? Because now it's acceptable, but people was kind of, I assume, a little hesitant about that. So, like, what was your marketing plan as far as, like, to get it out there?
Man, consistency is everything, you know, and I think that, you know, when I first put it out there, yeah, it was talked about, but at the same time, there was a lot of people, like, sliding in my DMs, like, bro, what's that? I get that. You know what I'm saying?
The wizard of DC.
Anything you present to people and keep it in their sight, it becomes normalized after a while. You know what I'm saying? You keep putting it in front of them. It's like, all right, you know, it's not so bad. And over time, it just was like, all right, I'm gonna try it now. And so, it just it's something that just kind of grew for real.
So okay.
And also like trying to just promote and put quality work up. You know, so that, I mean, consistency and having quality is going to bring value to whatever you're doing.
Now, I love what you said because that's so true, and people don't fully understand it. It's like, as long as you're consistent, people will buy in.
Yeah.
Eventually. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's like even music, like you might not like a song, but you hear it enough and it's not that bad to you anymore. Or food. You start to eat a food enough and it's like, okay. And it's like people, they might laugh at it at first, but now it's not funny anymore.
Yep.
Because it's like your favorite celebrity got it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well.
That's what I was going to say. It's like there's a certain connotation that comes with men that are doing this, but we've been seeing our women doing this for years.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that because
Right?
$2.5 billion was spent last year on women's weaves, extensions, and wigs for black women, just black women.
Yeah.
So $2.5 billion. It might even be more than that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's a huge industry. So to see it now on the men's side, and they say like almost, I think 60 or 70% of black men experience some form of hair loss after 30, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's very common.
Oh, it's common. I mean, I've got kids, man. I got people as young as 12 years old, like losing their hair, alopecia, you know, whatever, you know, different things, man, just happening. It's a big thing.
So when did it take off for you? Like, when did you really start to hit your stride?
I would say last year, like the beginning of last year is really
18?
Yeah, 18. It really took off to the next level. It was like a gradual, you know, it was a gradual scale, but you know, last year was probably when it really went off.
But what made it like really go out the park?
I mean, I think the more reposts I got, like whether it was WorldStar or you know those repost apps, I mean pages or whatever. Then when Vice News, HBO, and all that happened, it just went to that next level. It was like viral at that point.
How'd you get the press? Like, did you pay for that?
No,
repost or actually publicist?
No. I got a publicist after that. But so from I guess the people from Vice, they were looking for, some new stories. I don't know how they got me. I think one of my guys in New York, John Cotton, had said something to them. I'm not sure exactly who or how it happened, but they were doing a story on the hair units because they saw it online. And so me being one of the pioneers for it, they hit me up and was like, hey, we want to do this documentary on you.
Now, you had to come up with a technique to actually get this done, right? I'm sure, like, when you first tried, it was like, well, that didn't work. How long was the process before you like, you know what, I perfected this?
Oh, man. I mean, I started about 5 years ago with this. So, I mean, I'm really just getting the last 2 to 3 years. I'm actually just starting to get to the point where I'm super confident with it. Because there were still a lot of unknowns. Even as I was progressing and getting more popular for it, there were still things I'm like, still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as a barber, anybody will tell you, man, I don't care. You've been growing. And this is when you stop growing. That's when you need to be scared. But as a barber, you learn different techniques all the time. It's different things all the time. And if you stop growing, then it's a wrap for you. Yeah. You got to keep growing.
And what you said is just not even just barbers, just in life in general.
life,
Like
yeah.
any type of business, you always have to sharpen your tool. And this is a business podcast, so this goes for anybody that's listening, no matter what profession you're in. You can never be complacent.
Yeah.
Because there's always new technology. There's always something new.
Yeah,
And
this is a prime example.
Yeah.
you got to stay on point. But also, I want people to understand is like, see the catchy headline that I think it was Black Enterprise, like you made $500,000 last year doing man units. But that doesn't tell the whole story because you scaled the business. So you teach classes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I do classes. I started doing the classes probably about a year after I really started doing my first unit, because it was once I was posting on social media and people were like, man, please teach me what you're doing, And I do my classes because there was one particular person that was doing the units before me, and they were doing pretty well with them or whatever, but they would not teach me. And for whatever reason, I asked twice. They curved me. It was like, no. So I started doing the classes because I didn't want people hit me up and I'm curving them and like, nah, I'm not teaching you, just because I'm trying to corner the market. And I'm like, man, you can't be blessed like that. So I'm like, man, anything I got, I'm gonna share it. And I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's deceased now. But one of the best motivational speakers that ever lived, I feel like, But anyway, he was talking about if you have a talent, man, how many people have you cultivated? How many people have you trained to be better than you, if not like you, but better than you? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that shows that shows your impact. You know what I mean? And I want to leave legacy, man. I don't want to just be, he was a good barber, or he did good with them units. But no, I want to leave some people back that's gonna keep this thing going. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you gotta train people and cultivate other people, man. I'm not intimidated like by other people's gifting. Yeah. So I'm always gonna help other people to get to that next level or go further than me.
This sounds like some of our guests, man, and it's a valuable lesson in being an entrepreneur is how do you replicate yourself?
Yeah, you got to.
The quicker you can do that, then the quicker you can scale.
Well, also, we just had an episode where we talked about multiple streams of income. Yeah. And we were saying that a lot of the misconception with a lot of people is that they think they need 7 different occupations or 7 different businesses to create 7 streams of income. But it's like we always say, you don't really need, you just need one thing that you do really well and then branches off of that. So so if like for you, and correct me if I'm wrong, so like you got the barbershop, right? That's like where it all started at. So that's always going to be the stream of income. And then you have multiple barbershops. So you get paid from barbers that are in your shop, right? Yeah. So that's 2 streams of income. The barbershop, you're getting paid from the barbers. You actually cut hair and put in the units yourself, right? But now you teach classes, so that's 4. You wrote a book. I wrote a book. That's 5.
Don't forget the products.
Sell products.
The products. That's 6.
So, 'cause that's crazy, right? Like if you think about it, right? Like you're actually putting the products in that you have to use to keep the upkeep on the units.
And then you actually the people that you train, you said you send clients to them sometimes, then you get a commission off of that. So that's 7 streams.
Oh, there's another one because you have relationships with brands.
Yeah.
Right? So you got the Palmers and Shea Butter and partnerships with Walmart. There's another stream.
But it all comes back to one thing. Like, you know what I
He
mean?
almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I did. Hold on. I was like, yo, hold on.
So
Yeah.
can we talk about that? The brand
man.
partnerships. How did that come about?
Yeah, honestly, man, there was, and this is about, just you being a brand. I met people. There was one guy named DeMar. He, he has those relationships with Walmart, and he was like, bro, I'm gonna connect you with these people. And they saw what I was doing, and they was like, oh, we love him. We love your presentation online. We want you to work with us. And so being professional, like trying to be professional, like that first initial time that I worked with Walmart, they loved my vibe. They loved, what I was doing. I tried to be professional, represent, the correct way. And they just kept hiring me, and then it just branched off to other things. And then so you promote one product, other products and sponsors are seeing you online too. They're like, oh, we want you to help.
People want to spend money with people who are spending money.
But that's what I love about social media too. It's like before social media, celebrities were only musicians and actors and
celebritons.
Athletes, things of that nature. But now you could be a celebrity barber, you could be a celebrity teacher, you could be a celebrity real estate broker.
You could even be a celebrity podcaster.
That's a fact. That's a fact. No, it's not. But it's because it's like now brands will pay you to post on social media, and you can do ad campaigns, and it's like that would have never happened before the power of social media. So I always say social media is like the great equalizer, and if used properly, has a lot of power.
It does.
Has a lot of power.
I know my brand is only where it is because of God and social media, honestly, like for real. I mean, you can make a post and people all over the world can see the joint, like in a matter of minutes. So it's like, man, like, what better can you get? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
One of the things you talk about, especially in branding, is changing the terminology of the hair care industry, right?
Yeah.
So like, and when we talk, it's like, yo, your wig got pushed back, right? Like,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like, yo, it is the area of recession, even the cranial piece. Like, is that a conscious effort that you made to change the stigma?
Yeah, I have to. Because, I mean, people, and I tell people even in my classes, because your terminology and what you call something can turn a person off, or it can be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, how we represent things and how we talk about it is big. We are visual people. We are people that the way you talk about something, it gets in your soul. It gets in your spirit for real. And how we represent it, I think is everything.
No, that's something that I learned early on. I'm a financial advisor, and like even early on, when going to different sales classes, stuff like that, I learned that language is extremely important.
Yeah.
It's extremely important. So like, a lot of times, like you'll say, like let's say one product is $100, another product is $50, right? Instead of saying this one is more expensive, it's richer. You say it's richer, rich.
Yeah,
people want to be rich, like you know what I'm saying. So by saying it's richer, it makes it seem like it has a higher quality, and now you're more enthused to pay for $100 instead of $50. But if I said this is more expensive, of course you're gonna go with the cheap item, with naturally trained. So. It's very true. And that's another business gem for people to understand. Is like, be careful how you speak and be careful how you describe things, because like you could really sell anything if you describe it correctly. Like, you know what I mean? It's all about in the wording. So, but one thing, we're gonna go into the last segment. But before we do, I wanted to ask you a question, because I see this now. A lot of barbers are following this trend where I looked on your link tree, and it's like you only work by appointments, right?
That's all. I don't got time for walk-ins, man.
For the nonsense, right? So no, that's important.
You're not trying to talk about who the best basketball player is.
Nah.
All business.
I got other things to worry about.
I'm glad barbers really started to implement that, and I hope more do, because it sets a professional trend, right? And can you talk about that, like how, because now even people, I'm sure, they'll look at you different. They'll respect your time, because people come late. People, they do all kinds of stuff.
You know what? I really see it as a benefit. Obviously I cut my own hair now, right? But having children and having to sit around and wait, it's nothing. Like, you got a 4-year-old and you got to wait six people before you get a cut. Like, we're done. He's in your chair.
But I only go
crazy.
Thursday 9 o'clock. Shout out to my barber Bubs.
Bubs, what up?
I can't play a game. I don't have time to hear you lying on Saturday morning about.
Yo, he was in front of you, yo. Yo, bro, nah, he came before you came, bro.
I used to do that. Yeah, it's like you lose track of who came first, and then it's just like a whole bunch of war
Sat there for 4
stories.
hours.
And
Then
it's
somebody
like,
come with $100, be like, all right, I'm gonna let you in front. Like,
yeah.
nah.
So when did you realize that you had to structure and run your business like a business, not just like a side hustle type vibe?
I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. When I first started and got out of barber school, I experienced where I was doing some walk-ins and stuff like that. And I hated the fact people was jangling keys because I'm, or they was jittery because they waiting too long and stuff like that. It make my nerves bad, bro. I can't fool with it.
Looking at your watch.
Yeah, doing it like,
Come on,
breathing
man.
hard, like, yeah.
I know you wasn't here.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm about to do this appointment thing. It was I may have been out of barber school maybe 2 or 3 months. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do the appointment thing. And I started just having people eat. I first started with the book because all these booking apps wasn't out back then, and so I started with like just a schedule book. Y'all make your appointments. That's that or whatever. Then we did the I think Bizlink was the next thing that I went on, but it just helped so much. People wasn't texting me. Like they could just go online and just make their appointment. But then you know, at that time, it was a lot of people that was like, oh, nah, I ain't trying to do that. Like, I'm going to just call you. I'm going to just text you. They ain't want to go through the
numbers don't listen.
Yeah. So, but now it's getting to the point where a lot of barbers are doing it. And it sets you apart, man. It's professional. You don't have to have people texting you at all times of the night. Yeah. People just go on your website and just book whatever's open.
And they pay beforehand.
And they pay. They put a credit card. Yeah. Put a card beforehand.
It tells you the tip and everything.
Exactly. All
we ain't got to guess the
You know what I'm saying? And it's professionalism is going to set you apart, from being the regular, barber from around the way, and you going to that next level. So
it's like going to the dentist. You just don't randomly go to the dentist. You gotta make an appointment.
You can't just walk in there.
You can't just sit around. If you do, you're gonna be sitting there for 10 hours.
Exactly.
I'll get to you when I get to you.
Who's next?
Exactly.
All right. So in the last segment, we're gonna talk about scaling and where we go from here to 2020, 2021, 2022. All right. So where do we go from here? Like, what's the scaling? Because that's another thing too. Is like you've created multiple streams of income. You've elevated yourself, but now the next step in any business has to be how do you expand it, right? Because it's never a thing where you can be complacent in business. So what's the scaling model for you moving forward?
Well, now it's more so like I'm doing the Atlanta location, and building shops that we're not doing the more booth rent shops, but yeah, just having locations and
commission shops.
Yeah. And also just building the brand and not just being a Maryland thing, but different regions, different countries, different things like that.
Did you choose Atlanta intentionally? I feel like that is like the hub of black hair care.
Right. So I went off of where my big markets are. Mm-hmm. So Atlanta is a big one for me. New York is a big one for me. And then, I plan to go to LA, Houston, different places like that. So being strategic in where I placed it, understanding my markets, you know what I mean? So that's why, Atlanta is that's why I chose that one.
You have the master class, right? So that's the one way that you also are scaling. It says that you have over 500 students.
Yeah.
How does that work? Do they come to Atlanta? Or do they come to DC? And what happens when
So it depends. Most of my classes are based in the DMV, but I do tours here and there. I'm working on my 2020 tour right now. I did one this year. In 2019, I went to Barbados. I went to Canada. I went to pretty much. I was in Georgia. I was in New York, Ohio, Chicago, different places like that. You know what I mean? And so just set the tour out. Set the dates out, and people just they sign up, and then we there. Florida, I did Florida as well.
What happens? So when we get there, what are we seeing? Are you teaching us how to?
So I do a lecture and talk about it's because it's different terms, it's different things, insurance options. So people, if somebody wanted to say if you want to get one, but you want to use your insurance to get it. I teach people how to accept insurance, how to do that type of thing.
As health insurance?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
health insurance covers that?
What's the plan?
Some people's plan cover it.
So, like,
not everybody's.
if I have,
Not
like,
everybody's,
alopecia,
yeah. If you've had, because it's
Alopecia.
yeah,
I'm
if you've
saying
had
alopecia, I'm sorry.
alopecia, cancer, or something, like a sickness that caused you to lose your
What
hair.
is alopecia?
So it's when people lose their hair,
Just
man.
that's
Like,
it?
so it's
Just hair
different. It's different. Yeah, it's hair loss, but it's like different types of alopecia. You have scarring alopecia where it leaves scars. Alopecia areata was like in different spots.
The spots, right?
Yeah. So it's different. It's different types.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, from a healthcare standpoint, like, yeah.
Yeah, so I deal with that, and I actually do live models where I show them how to put the piece on. Make some units. We make some of the units in class. Man, it covers a lot, man, and a lot of
One day?
in one day. It's like a 6 to 7 hour class. A lot of people be like, man, that's the best class I ever taken. So I mean, that's cool, for me. So.
And one of the things that these units do, it obviously, it's a transformative look, but the testimonials
Oh man,
that I saw, man, talk to us about that.
man, nah, it literally, because I not only do men, but I also do women. I'd be having brothers about to tear up, and be like, man, I ain't seen my hair since I was 16, like, and wives even commenting, sending me messages, man, thank you, because my husband had PTSD and was depressed for a long time, and now because he has hair, his confidence has gone up, and now he's taking me out on dates, like, thank you, because he treat me better now, you know what I mean? Different stuff like that. One lady the other week, I think she had cancer or something. She didn't tell me exactly what was going on, but I know it was something. And she got her unit done and started crying, man. Like, she had me tearing up. I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, she was like, this is the most beautiful I ever felt in my life. Wow. You know what I mean? Her daughter, like the heaving cry, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh man, y'all got chill. Like, this is crazy. But it's lives that are impacted, from this, just from having hair, man. The hair is a big thing, though, to a lot of people, you know what I mean?
It's big.
And so being able to, fulfill my purpose, man, it's like so fulfilling. And even when I'm like talking to other barbers and just people just in general, like, cause that's people that be like, man, I'm watching what you're doing. You inspire me. You're motivating me. That's the fuel that keep me going. Cause people like, man, you never sit still. But it's like, I can't, because there's so many lives and so many people that's being touched, and I want to make my impact while I'm here, man. I got to make sure I do all I can while I'm still living. I don't want to be just wasting time and just be, I take time for myself too, though. I take vacations. I travel a lot. Like, I just came back from Israel. I was in China the other week. Like,
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Is that something you had to learn? Because obviously you said in the past there was some relationships.
For sure. I these last couple of years, man, I've been learning that, and I just stopped a little bit, but for pretty much this whole year, I was taking 1 week off every month. Just to kind of give myself that balance, just to woosah, whether it's taking a trip for a couple of days, come right back, like, you know what I mean? Just go sit on the beach, relax, different things like that,
Let me ask you, all right, so how does the commission system work? Like, it's like 20% for every single person that walks in the door?
It's whatever percentage you make it. Now, don't rape the people, man. You can't.
What's a fair percentage?
It depends on the
for barbers. For barbers.
Well, because it depends on how much your price levels are. Okay. So, say for instance, like, and a lot of times if you're gonna do commission, you need to provide the people with the products too. So if I'm gonna do 50-50, I'm gonna provide you with the hair, I'm gonna provide you with the products that you need to carry it out. You winning at that point, because I'm giving you clients. You know what I mean? Even these like bubbles and hair cuttery and those type of salons and barbershops like that. Even what's the one? God, I forgot it. But anyway, there's a lot of shops that do that. Those chain shops, they all are like commission based, but that's how they're able to sustain it.
Like, what's the big one? Supercuts?
Yeah, you got Supercuts.
That's
you got
a barbershop, I know.
God, it's another joint that I forgot about. But anyway, yeah, man, that's how they're able to keep those models going, and they have franchise now. They have different locations all over the world because they're doing that, and it's just. Now, I will say a lot of barbers, or especially in our community, they tend to shy away from commission because it's more responsibility on your end now. But as opposed to just coming and showing up, collecting booth rent. No, but now you got to do some stuff. You got to promote. You got to provide the product. And in some cases, you got to pay their taxes for them because now they're employees, depending on how you set it up. You know what I mean?
But when you say provide the product, are you talking, it's your product.
Yeah, so whether I'm providing the hair,
right,
the adhesives that's needed for it.
But you have your own hair?
The unit.
I-
The unit.
No, I'm
so,
saying
yeah.
you have your, like you make it, or is it like because I know most
Some of
people
them,
get-
some of them I make myself, but
Okay.
yeah, I have.
that's a whole
I
nother.
have
Like,
vendors, that I use and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure.
I was there because like vendors, I know a lot of people get their hair from vendors. Now you said the units cost between $200 to $600, right? But
average. Yeah, it
average,
is
right?
average, yeah.
But there's another cost too, the maintenance part of it.
Yeah.
So I think people don't know about that.
So it depends on which unit you have. So there's levels to it, man. But if you got the 1 to 2 month unit, you know, the maintenance could range from $50 to $100 or so. But then if you're doing the 3 to 4 month unit, you got the maintenance is usually I charge anywhere from $200 to $250 or so, and that's you come every once a month, or there's some people that just come once every 2 months. It all depends, you know.
And you're still getting cuts while you have it, right?
Yeah, you can still getting cuts, yeah. But so I'm at the point now I can't really cut everybody that comes and get the unit. So I send them to my barbers, or I send them out to the people in my network, because a lot of people fly in to come get this service. Say, for instance, like last week I had people from Chicago, from South Carolina, Canada, different places like that. So that's why I try to build a network so big that I have people that I've taught in different states and different cities.
So like supercuts and all that, I just thought about something. They're charging commission, or even you're charging commission. How do you track how many people's coming in? Like you're not there every day.
You got cameras, receptionists.
A receptionist. Okay.
Yeah, it's different
Keys in a
things.
lot of businesses.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's why I say
That makes
it's
sense.
more on your end that you got to cover.
It's
at
more
that point.
responsibility.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense. Receptionist. So now you're running like a real business.
Yeah.
They come in, they check in. There's a book log of who came in,
Yeah.
what they got done.
Exactly.
So we're not just winging it. Like I cut 10
you can't
people.
just be like, oh yeah, bro, I only cut 5, but they cut 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, we ain't doing that.
We got the camera on you.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay. And do you think that that's the business model moving forward for barbers to like really be successful?
for a barbershop owner.
Barbershop owner to
Yeah.
be successful.
Yes, and it's good for people that's just starting off and they don't have a lot of clientele. Now, a lot of people like a lot of barbers and stylists that are established already, they ain't going to no commission situation because they feel like you're gonna take all their money.
Yeah.
But somebody that's trying to build and grow, you know, that's a perfect situation because you don't have to, you know, pretty much me getting you clients, I'm gonna feed you pretty much, and I'm providing client and the training for you, you know. So
Can you go swimming with these units?
the 3 to 4 month ones, actually the 1 to 2 month ones you can as well. Them 2 to 4 week units,
Don't do it.
don't do
Don't
it.
play yourself.
Don't mix this with clothing.
Don't play yourself. man.
Nah,
Go to
nah,
South
but there's
Beach.
certain ones.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, for sure. But then it's like, so if, say for instance, this is the thing. I try to tell even because it looks like it's yours, it's not. The thing is, if you keep up with the maintenance, you fine. But there's some people that do not keep up with the maintenance, and so if it's already lifting a little bit before you get in that water, I would say just
Well, let me ask you this.
don't do it.
If your wig lopsided.
your joint gonna be.
For barbers, black barbers specifically, is there any way for them to kind of make the money that you make without doing the units? Like, can you make that kind of money just being a regular barbershop owner? No, probably not.
Owner, possibly, yes. depending
If
on
you have
how
like a
many
lot of different locations,
yeah. But
it's harder.
if you're just a barber, you need to have some type of high ticket price
Item, something.
item. Yeah.
You it can't be it got to be more than $40.
Yeah, you $25, $40. That's
The hot towel's not gonna be.
now
enough.
you can make 6 figures, but not multiple 6 figures.
Low 6 figures,
Yeah, low 6.
like 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the way this is the business model moving forward.
You got to get into this.
You gotta get they gotta get into it.
They got to figure out. They got to take your class.
They do. Hey, shameless plug.
We only try to help our alumni. We only trying to help our alumni. So if y'all see me out there with a unit, I don't want y'all to laugh. Just know that Wade did it.
All right. So yeah, when you said previously, I don't know where I thought about this question. It just came out of nowhere. But you said previously that it was 2 business models, but there's a membership model. Can you talk about that?
Membership model. So people pay a monthly membership to be a part of my network. So you can either be a part of the network where I send you clients, or you can be a part of my mentorship. So it's 2 different prices for that, and then there's a fee. When I actually send you a client, I get paid off the first visit. I don't try to be greedy. You only pay me the first visit that I send you. So say for instance, I send you, you go to and they give me 50% of the service that one time, but now that's your client. for forever. You know,
I mean, that's a good test. I mean, it's a test trial, right?
Yeah.
Because what if I didn't like it?
If you didn't like it, then isn't that
Your name's on the line. a little
Yeah,
bit.
facts. I've had that happen once so far. Yeah.
Do barbershops have memberships like gyms? Like, can you be like? I thought that's interesting.
That is,
There are
right?
some-
They
there are
did that with our car wash. It was like, oh, this is more convenient.
I'm on a subscription for my car wash where like I pay like $40 and I can go like anytime I want.
Yeah.
I have. Do they have like you pay $500 but you can get as many haircuts as you want?
There are some people that do that.
How you feel about that, you know? Because they'll abuse it.
Yeah, they'll abuse it.
I'm in there every other day.
And it's like,
If I had to
I
pay
don't
them.
know where I'm going to be at the rest of the time. Like, I don't even know. Like, next week I could get a call and got to go somewhere. I don't like. Now, my clients know what I do also. In order to sit in my chair, they pay a deposit. So if the service is $650, the client is paying like $260 deposit before they even show up. So I ain't gonna lie, that does kind of lock me in. So I have to plan my life ahead of time.
So like,
How long does it, I'm sorry. How long does it take to get it done?
So it takes me about an hour to hour and a half each head.
That's typical, or you just like because you're a master?
Well, because when I first started, it was like 3 hours, but now because I'm so used to doing it, it's about an hour to hour and a half.
how many days a week do you cut? I mean, like not cut, but you can only cut one day a week.
I only cut Fridays, but
And how many ways do you do units?
So sometimes on Mondays, but mostly just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do about 6 to 7 people, sometimes 8 a day.
A day?
So pretty much all day, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you're off traditional Sunday and Monday, barbershop days off.
Yeah, Sunday and most Mondays.
Why do barbers take Mondays off? I never understood. Like no barber works on
Because
Monday.
you want,
Weekends
Because they gotta work Saturday. Because they gotta work
hanging
Saturday.
out the weekend. You just
that makes sense.
Monday you be needing that.
You need 2 days off.
Yeah.
All right. Wade, man, pleasure. Thank you for dropping gems on us. How can the people contact you? Information on your shops, information on the classes, all that, social media handles and all that.
All social media handles. Wade the Barber. WadeTheBarber.com is my website. All the information is always there for the classes or whatever I got going on. So, Instagram is probably if you don't be on the website, Instagram is probably the next page. You know, Facebook. I'm working with my Facebook.
Same here.
Yeah, the Facebook, man. I mean, because I post to Facebook from Instagram. So
Okay.
Yeah, Wade the Barber. All social media outlets. Excuse me.
Dope. Troy, housekeeping items?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on Patreon.com. We actually just ran into a bunch of our patrons at our event, man. Shout out to everybody that came through from Patreon and all our new members. I actually spoke to a few of them today, man. That was dope because they've been connecting with us, and now we get to see us in real person. Like, so glad you came to the DMV. So shout out to them. As you know, that's our Proud to Pay program. We have 5 different tiers, so feel free to join at any. Just know that at tier 4 and 5, you have access to EYL University. As you see that we are wearing some new merch today. We got the EYL University merch that hasn't hit the streets yet, but it will be by the time you hear this. So make sure to go support that and stay in tune for our Monday webinars, our Wednesday webinars, and our Thursday floating webinar. We're trying to figure out which day it's going to be, Thursday or Friday. But 3 times a week, man, we're giving out classes and webinars on different types of business and real estate. So stay in tune for that. And what else we got, man?
EYL University, I just want to double down on that. Once again, if you're not familiar, that's the educational portal that we have, and we do 3 live classes every single week with different presenters on different topics, and it's a Zoom class, so you can interact with the presenters, and it's really dope. One thing about the podcast is we establish really great relationships with people, and they become our friends, and they teach classes for us, they do workshops for us, so it's really dope. And we just finished up our second workshop. Yeah. That we did for the year, and we're doing our live podcast tomorrow. That's going to be crazy. And once again, we're hitting the road, and we're taking this show on the road. So January 25th and January 26th. Hopefully, the information might be up by the time this podcast comes out. If not, very soon. Yeah. We'll have all the information and all the details on Atlanta. But make sure you check us out in Atlanta, man, for sure. And make sure, like you said, the merch still popping.
Yeah. All flavors, too.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's it. Anything else?
Yeah, we got our book tip.
Oh.
I got it. Our book tip is The Success Factor, 12 Keys to Help You Win in Life by, you know that guy?
Yeah.
None other than Wade Menendez.
Yeah.
There he is.
You. I appreciate that.
No problem.
There you have it. There you have it. It's a great book. highly recommended.
Another stream.
All right, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.